On to you Geminis out here. You have the Six of Wands, the Hanged Man, and then you Geminis also have the Lovers, which is Gemini. So amazing, amazing stuff. Really good, amazing stuff. A lot of you Geminis are, let me see. Interesting. So a lot of the things in you Geminis' life is moving forward. Business wise, or I should say financially, emotional / health wise, all of that stuff is moving forward. Um, and so because of it, a lot of you feel content. A lot of you are happy. A lot of you are content. You're glad that things are moving forward. Six of Wands. All but one, which is the Hanged Man and the Lovers card. All but love. That's something for you Geminis, unfortunately, for whatever reason, has still been put on hold. A lot of great things is happening for you, but you just feel like this is the one area of your life that is the weakest portion of your life, right? Kind of like a Virgo. And so you Geminis are steadily trying to figure out, right? The Hangman, you Geminis are steadily trying to figure out, well, why, right? The love that you give is for real. Some of you Geminis may give love, not necessarily wanting it back immediately. And so you're trying to figure out what exactly is going on. Why is it that you always got to be denied that? Why you always got to be freezed out from that? And the Hangman represents, you just have to be very patient at this time, because the Hanged Man represents patience. It represents how if you don't stay patient, right, then you're going to have consequences, because the Hanged Man represents learning how to be patient. Because like what I'm trying to say is the Hanged Man represents, if you don't learn how to be patient, you will find a lot more problems. You will find a lot more problems than what it is that you had originally intended for, due to the fact that you got to learn patience. You have to learn that sometimes the answer is to be patient and to wait. And see, the thing is that the Three of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands right here, Three of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, right? And part of what it is that you are waiting for is that you Geminis have been interacting with some people back to back to back romantically, who look at love from a non-50-50 relationship. We need to start making 50-50 relationships normal, because that is the healthiest type of relationship, right? The two of you should be enthusiastic to want to chip in and be with each other and be just as involved as the other person. So the Three of Pentacles represents you've been interacting with people who do not make you feel at home, because they intentionally keep things from you, because they don't want to ruin whatever connection that the two of you have. But at the same time, they don't understand that while they're trying to be super reserved, they're actually taking away or chipping away at the relationship, because they need to stop getting on like they so scared and actually contribute. Because that's where the Eight of Wands represents. That's the other element of it too. Yeah, people have been hurt and all of that, and I don't mean to sound insensitive, but it needs to be said. Some people just need to get over their pain, because how you gonna be in a relationship with somebody but you don't want to chip in? If the person has any amount of self-respect whatsoever, they're not going to want to have that. They're not going to want to hear that. They're going to look at that person like that person is wilding and that person is losing their mind, because it makes no sense. You don't want to contribute to me, but because you scaredy. But at the same time, it's like, but what it's also doing is that you're not paying attention to, is that it's chipping away at the relationship. You understand what I'm saying? So you Geminis are in a prime position, because you're not with anybody and you're actually waiting to be able to interact with people to see, right, if they actually are willing to chip in and not be so afraid. Because I'm going to say this, right? And I'm sure you Geminis will tell me in the comment section, but you can't be scared in relationships, yo. You can't be scared, because if you scared to be in, I'm gonna say this as I look at the camera, right? If you scared to be in relationships, then don't be in them. You know, like if a person is scared to be in one of those, why is it that they even want to find a relationship in the first place? That's counterproductive to what they want to do, because being in relationships will actually reveal your fear or lack thereof, right? Because it's about intimacy, it's about closeness. So if a person, my dear, I'm sure you Geminis know this, but if a person is scared to be in a relationship, not just with you, but in general, or maybe just with you, it reveals that, because they can be in a relationship with everybody else, but they can't be in one with you. And you would probably be the one that is the most compatible and would actually be the most equitable relationship, as to where other people would use them the wrong way, right? So it reveals that there's a lot of people who I've made very scared of being in relationships, and not for why it is that you think. I didn't treat them like trash. They just not accustomed to being treated with respect. So what happens? So they don't want to contribute, because how do I have guarantees? You might do this, you might do that. And it's like, first and foremost, I wouldn't do that, because I don't kiss and tell. I made the mistake once, but that was because I was so excited. You know what I mean? Something that I've wanted for a long time and stuff like this, wanted to be chosen. I got chosen, but, starting to get chosen more. I was so excited. Now I'm learning, okay, I learned from the lumps. Okay, that's not cool. Okay, so I stopped. Right? Yet they still can't find it in their heart to come closer and be with me, because they scared. Because that's what relationships will do. Relationships will everybody trying to make it seem like relationships is like weak. No, relationships expose you. Because if you scared to leave your house, you got to take them out on a date. Right? Like if you know what I'm saying? Like if you scared to give to somebody, you have to give to somebody in order for the relationship to continue. Because relationships can't work if you're not charitable, if you're not generous, if you're not giving, right? If you're always counting. It's not a relationship. So it requires a person to confront their own fears. And this is the thing that you Geminis can do, but who's to say that other people can do that when it comes to you in particular? But then you have the Knight of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles, and then you have the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Wands, right, represents how it looks like on the outside. It looks like they're just giving you problems. But the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords represents, but deep down, they know you Geminis are playing from a much better playing ground. They know that you Geminis are coming from a more well-rounded, respectful, equitable place, but they can't rock with that same place. They can't meet you Geminis halfway. That's why you having problems. That's why you gotta wait. That's why you gotta get to know people, but listen to what type of time they on, right? But then you have the Two of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords, which represents how, since that's the case, a lot of you Geminis, right? Two of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. You will think that the two of you are compatible only up to a point. And the reason why is because they like you. We gotta, people run around on the internet and talk about like and dislike and all this other type of nonsense. They're too inconsistent. They too all over the place. They like you, now they don't. Too fickle. They like you. It's just that the situation with you Geminis is they mad insecure. We need to start there. We need to go there. Because if they didn't like you, they wouldn't be hanging out with you in the first place. Because most people are not truly vampiric. Most people are not devouring individuals. They're not doing that. Most people are actually dealing with problems that they've experienced for a long time, and that's where the narcissism comes from. It's not devouring, where it's like they want to control people and tell people what to do. They want to be admired from the perspective of worship. That's actually very few and far between, right? But what is more prevalent is narcissism. People who dealt with problems, and because of the problems, they now put on essentially a front, and the front is coming from the ego. So that's why it is that you Geminis are having these problems. Let's clarify some of these cards. Let's clarify the Lovers. He revving his engine, eh? Hold on a second. He revving his engine, eh? I said he revving his engine, eh? Yeah, he revving his engine hard, eh? Oh, good. Revving his engine, revving it, turning the key on that mug, mashing the gas. Okay. So to clarify the Lovers, you have the Ace of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and then the Six of Wands to clarify the Lovers, which is Gemini. So again, right, to bring it home once again, right, the Ace of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles, right? You bring value. That's clear. They don't want to share that value with you. And if they do, they have to share it from a perspective of control. This is the contrast of what you Geminis have been meeting. But the way that they make it seem like they're generous because they are ready for a relationship. When what they're doing is they're trying to use the generosity to not give you emotional closeness. That's the situation. To not have to open up. Because I've talked about it before, people will more than likely be at beef with each other, but they won't be in love. When you start talking about love, people start trying to humiliate, but again, that's a tactic. A lot of the times when you see somebody trying to humiliate another person, it's to get them to do something. Now, you have to ask yourself, what is up with people humiliating people who talking about love? Again, I ain't talking about anything bad to say, oh, get out of here with that nonsense. You talking nonsense, right? We're talking about love here. So what is the extreme need to disregard it, throw it away, dismiss it, right? Try to low-key act like it doesn't exist. What is that? It's because you got a lot of people who are afraid, is why. Very afraid. And the situation is the King of Pentacles and the Six of Wands right here speaks to how a lot of you Geminis are in a situation where a lot of you Geminis just need to enjoy yourself, because you just need to relax at this current point in time. Because the Ace of Pentacles, once again, a lot of you Geminis don't really be understanding. Even the people that be giving you a hard time, you be saving people's lives out here, fam. But I really don't think that people really take into consideration that what the gravity or the profoundness of what I'm saying. Like, you be saving people's lives. Like, you be saving people's lives out here, fam. Y'all don't have any idea of but that's heavy game. That's heavy. Too much for me to say right here, fam. For now anyway. That's a lot. And if I was to get into it, that would be a whole other video, or the video would be much longer. But that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. All it is that you Geminis need to do is to continue to date, but just see who gives you things from a narcissistic perspective and who is actually open to being in a relationship, and take risks. But that's it. Peace. Have a good one.